Picture this. You're sitting in your quiet backyard, a sanctuary you've paid for, fenced off, and meticulously maintained, when suddenly a stranger in your apron is grilling hot dogs on your patio. He's got the nerve to ask if you've got any Dijon mustard. Behind him, 3 kids are cannonballing into your pool, a woman's rinsing her muddy dog with your garden hose, and someone's parked their Toyota Corolla right on your lawn. This isn't a dream, it's a full-on invasion of your private property. You blink, wondering if you've slipped into some bizarre alternate reality where you've unknowingly listed your house on Airbnb. Then you spot her, Lisa, with her khaki shorts, oversized sunglasses, and a clipboard clutched like she's commanding a suburban army. She's strutting around your yard like it's hers, which is hilarious because her house is 5 doors down, nowhere near this chaos she's clearly orchestrated. It hits you this isn't a mix-up, it's a turf war, and Lisa picked the wrong backyard to mess with. Let me take you back 3 months. I just moved into what I thought was a tranquil cul-de-sac on the edge of Evergreen Heights. I'm a software engineer who works from home, juggling calls across 3 time zones in sweatpants. All I wanted was a peaceful spot with solid Wi-Fi and a yard big enough for a grill and maybe a hammock. This place checked every box: space, privacy, and a sprawling backyard that edged up to a wooded area. It was paradise, until I met Lisa Morgan. Lisa's the self-proclaimed dictator of the HOA, though nobody recalls electing her. She's got this perpetual squint that screams distrust and a voice that turns every word into a jab. Within days of moving in, she handed me a 12-page welcome packet stuffed with rules, half of them sounding like she'd invented them on the spot, like lawn ornaments can't exceed 5 inches unless seasonally approved. I smiled, nodded, and mentally labeled her approach with caution. The first few weeks were fine, aside from a couple of snarky notes about my trash cans being too prominent. Then came the Saturday I stepped outside to water my plants and nearly tripped over a cooler of beer that wasn't mine. Looking up, I saw it. People sprawled under umbrellas, a table loaded with nachos, and some guy blending margaritas with my outdoor outlet. My outlet. I tried to keep cool, tapping the grill guy on the shoulder. "Hey, what's going on?" He grinned like I was the oddball. "Oh, Lisa said we could use the community space today. Awesome spot, you must live close." I laughed not because it was funny, but because screaming felt like the only other option. "This isn't community space," I said. "It's my backyard." He blinked, then pointed at Lisa, who was holding court by the pool, passing out paper plates like a picnic queen. Confronting her felt like stepping into a lion's den. "Lisa," I said, keeping my tone steady, "why are strangers in my yard?" She didn't even blink. "Oh, hi, Ryan. Don't be ridiculous, this is community green space. It's on the HOA's original map. Did you read the handbook?" She waved at the crowd like I was the jerk who forgot the dip. I told her I had the updated property plat, filed with the city, proving this was my private lot. Her smile didn't budge. "Maps can be wrong," she said. "Besides, you weren't using it." I stood there, dumbfounded, surrounded by chip-munching trespassers and inflatable pool toys, realizing Lisa wasn't confused. Planned this. She'd invited people onto my land, sold it as a shared perk, and didn't care when I called her out. I asked her to clear everyone out. "Relax, Ryan," she said. "Enjoy the community vibe." That's when I knew this wouldn't end with a friendly chat. I called the non-emergency police line to weigh my options. The officer confirmed I could demand they leave and call it trespassing if they didn't, but he added, "If you want lasting peace, take it up with the HOA." Hilarious, since the HOA was the problem. This wasn't a one-off either. Neighbors I barely knew started spilling stories. Lisa redirecting dog paths through yards, unlocking gates for unasked for maintenance, even hiring a band for her house and aiming the speakers at someone else's property. She wasn't just entitled, she was a wrecking ball. That night, sitting on my patio, finally empty, but still reeking of grilled onions and Lisa's arrogance, I brainstormed. Lawyers? City complaints? Too slow. I needed something bold, something loud. Then it clicked. My cousin, Bear, yep, that's his nickname, was getting married. He's the chaplain for a biker club, the Iron Riders, and they'd been hunting for a venue, kept getting rejected for being too wild. Bear would love this yard. If Lisa thought it was public, I'd give her an event she'd never forget. I called Bear. "How'd you like your biker wedding at my place? Open bar, live band, fireworks, the works." He roared so loud I yanked the phone away. "Just name the date, 'cause we'll bring the crew." Picturing Lisa's face as 50 Harleys roared past her pristine fence, I felt the calm she'd stolen from me creep back. It wouldn't last, but it'd be glorious. Bear didn't mess around by morning. He'd started a group chat with me, his fiancée, Tara, and a dozen riders. Texts flew. Parking for bikes? Tent space? Could a tattoo artist set up by the fire pit? Someone asked about a mechanical bull. I thought it was a joke until Bear replied, "Bring the mat whale, make it work." Tara, who plans quirky weddings for a Lee Vying, wanted a fire breather for their first dance. I was equal parts terrified and pumped. This wasn't just a wedding. It was a spectacle brewing right under Lisa's nose. Tara took charge like a pro. "I'll handle permits, rentals, and food," she said. "You keep the yard open and warn the neighbors everyone's welcome unless they're HOA brass. They can peek from their windows." I offered cash, but she waved it off. "Your GIVYing us the spot. Plus, Bear says this is payback's free." I liked her instantly. In 3 days, my quiet yard morphed into a rock festival. Tara's planner buddy strung up gothic lanterns and fairy lights. A stage went up with a sound system and pulsing lights. They even built an arch shaped like crossed handlebars for the vows. I watched it unfold, sipping coffee, feeling like a rebel mastermind. Neighbors got curious and peeked. Some asked outright. "Biker wedding," I said. "Music, fireworks, come if you're not Lisa's crony." Word spread, and soon folks were hauling lawn chairs and pitching in. I hadn't meant to spark a revolt, but my yard was becoming a neighborhood cause. Lisa showed up on day 4, storming past bikes as a keg and drum set rolled in. I was hanging streamers with Tara when she barked, "What's this?" I smiled sweetly. "Just a little community event. Not HOA sanctioned," she snapped. "Good thing it's my property," I shot back. She glared. "You can't host public events without approval. Safety. Noise. Who are these people?" Bear, all 6 feet 5 inches of tattooed leather, stepped up. "Hi, ma'am." Bear, groomed to be. "You must be the lady who inspired this. Nice to meet you." She ignored his handshake. "This won't stand," she hissed. Bear grinned at me. "Ryan, can we move the bull closer to the street? Let him know where the party's at." Lisa's face twitched. "You'll be fined," she yelled, stomping off. "Bring snacks." I called after her. That night, an emergency HOA meeting notice slid under my door. I showed up in my yard, my rules shirt, armed with my deed, a city event permit, and the HOA bylaws. Lisa listed grievances: noise, unsafe gatherings, misuse of shared space. I handed out my proof and explained. My land, approved event, private wedding, curated guests, legal fireworks. Questions? Silence. The HOA lawyer shrugged. "He's legit." Lisa fumed, but the VYB shifted neighbors were tired of her. One whispered, "She killed my kid's lemonade stand last month." The wedding rolled on. Tacos, ribs, a coffin-shaped bar, and a bull arrived. Fireworks pros set up a finale that'd rival the 4th. Lisa watched from her roof with binoculars. I waved, soundproofed my house, and parked my car off-site. Game on. Wedding day dawned with Harleys rumbling in. Neighbors gawked as bikes lined the street, flags waving. My yard became a festival taco truck. Metal, "Here Comes the Bride," Bear in denim, Tara in white leather. The ceremony was a tearjerker about fuel and oil stains, a pit bull tribute. Lisa tried sabotaging it, crowbarring my power box mid-reception. "This is dangerous," she crowed. "That's illegal," I said, pointing to my camera. The fire marshal radioed for backup. She slunk off as my generator kicked in, and fireworks lit the sky blues, reds, a heart-shaped burst sparking a proposal. Lisa's last stand with a hose flop cops and the marshal shoot her away. She retreated, defeated. The aftermath was epic. Bear's crew cleaned up, but Lisa came back swinging with a complaint pack and mostly her own rants. Turns out, neighbors loved it. 20 thank yous, a poem, a Freedom Field petition. At the next meeting, I showed a video of the wedding and her power stunt. Claps drowned her tirade about suburban values. They voted her out. Tara took over. Lisa moved to Arizona, already terrorizing a new HOA. They asked for my footage to oust her again. I sent it with glee. Evergreen Heights bloomed. Fewer rules, more BBQs. My yard's a legend now, and I'm the guy who beat tyranny with bikers and fireworks. How's that for a backyard tale?